Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, Lucifer M. Daddy Waddy Port, aka Shoot Your Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are a fan of Port, stay tuned because you might like what we're cooking. On today's episode, we'll talk about a lot of things. Amongst those things, Momo is dropping his third studio album. I forgot what the title is. I forgot to read out, but I did get the cover art of the album. I just didn't read out what the name of the album is. It's written in cursive and I can't see what cursive, when someone is writing, when people write in cursive generally, I don't know. I don't know what it says when they write in cursive. Yeah. So I just wanted to highlight that. I'm so sorry for that. I just wanted to highlight that Song of the Day is Franchise by Travis Scott featuring Young Thug. I did tell you a story about Young Thug the other day, featuring Future, featuring Travis Scott, MIA. This is generally Travis Scott's song. This is Travis's song. Travis's song. English. So this is Travis's song. So it's currently on Spotify sitting at 88 million. It's a good song. Loved it. I didn't know there was a remix, and I know that Future is on the remix, which was released 2020 as well. During COVID, the song came out, So shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. And earlier when we were doing the prep for the podcast, because this episode I know it's coming on later on this afternoon. This was supposed to be actually released earlier on the day, like around 7 a.m. So I saw someone posting that he has a meeting around 10 a.m. in 702. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I've always has always been admired by a lot of people from where I come from. He's always seen like that guy. He is that guy. He even walks and talks like that guy. So I've never seen him as a role model, but I've always known that he has something. There's someone who has something, but you just can't put a name to it. What is it? So Mpomo Kwani is one of those people, because now I'm thinking, a lot of people, they're like, yo, Mpomo Kwani is the guy, and I'm like, yeah, he's the guy, man, like for a lot of the things, and I see he's smart even, he's smart, and I'm like, he's one of those guys, like, church, they idolize him. Some of the people idolize him from Kwana. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting, and it got me thinking, maybe I just like it that the Pomokwane for the lifestyle that he lives, very simple, very private person. He doesn't say too much, he doesn't say less even, he just gives you enough information or knowledge on whatever you are asking. He's never too much, he's just in the middle. He's that thing, man. He has that thing that I was saying, he has, I just still can't put a word to it, but he has that special thing, and that Mpomagwane. So I saw that and I was like, oh, I need to share that with the people and let them know. And a part of it is also being proud of where he comes from is where I come from, and seeing someone succeed up close and personal, it's easier for you. It's like I'm on the route, I'm on the right route. As much as this guy made it, and I'm seeing him, and I'm seeing a lot of successful people around me, meaning I also stand a chance to make it in life. And the Mpomagwane, I think he's also been a beacon of that, to say, like, again, I'm not saying look up to me, but if you were to look up on me, I have all the right qualities for you to see in me, so I admire that about him as well. I saw Malangeng, and I was supposed to talk about this last week. But I did, but now I'm talking about it. And before we can get on of the GQ Man of the Year South Africa, I just want to talk about the GQ, the American version. Kim K took it. Kim Kardashian took it. And some podcasters, I don't remember who the guy is, and he had an interview with Tate, and I don't remember the guy's name, and they were having a conversation in the podcast, and they were talking about how Kim is taking the man of the year instead of the woman of the year. And a lot of the people in the comment section, surprisingly, didn't have a problem with that. I was like, oh, okay. So, meaning, if people agree, I don't know if it's Kim K, because I know a lot of you don't like Kim Kardashian. So I don't know if it's that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I just did now. I know it's annoying. A lot of you are listening, but there was dust. I was busy earlier on with something, so I must have taken in some of the dust. So they were talking about it. They were like, no, she can't do that. No, I can't. My problem was there, and I'm like, wait, is this still about GQ Man of the Year? I was like, guys, for me, I don't think it's a big deal. It's not a big deal, man. It's a GQ, it's just an award at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's just an award. And I'm like, if people, and I saw one specific comment that stood out, someone was saying, Kim K is taking every award. He doesn't care what that award stands for. He just there, grabs and goes, And I think that person saying that, I was like, oh, okay. Meaning it's not a big deal then, because if she is coming in and taking those awards, which means they don't mean anything. If you say they hold a lot of substance, and meaning the people behind it, they are not giving it value, because clearly he doesn't know what it stands for. And why do they give that award to it? Do they want to trend? Do they want to be relevant? Maybe that's why they're giving it the award. What is it? And I'm like, maybe we need to have a discussion about that on the podcast. For those of you who just joined us, I'm your host, Diddy Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. We are actually talking about GQ Man of the Year. And in South Africa, shout out, even in South Africa, for the people who are discussing that internationally, even in South Africa, the Man of the Year, the GQ Man of the Year is Uncle Waffle. Shout out to you. He's had a very busy year. And I remember now that I'm talking about Uncle Waffles, someone actually came to mind, was actually giving a credit. Shout out to Oscar Mbo on the McG podcast, They Chill. He was also giving a credit to say she's been booked and busy, traveling the world, begging a lot of these things, and coming from where she comes from and where she is now, she's really grown, She's an entertainer. I think she's an entertainer. I've never seen her. I don't know how to judge DJing because I don't know anything first thing about DJing. So I wouldn't, talk on that. But generally, I think he's doing good. And shout out to Waffles, man, for the thing they're doing. And I saw the name, surprisingly. I don't know why I'm laughing, I'm sorry. I saw McG's name popping up. Entertainer of the Year was McG. And I'm like, okay, Entertainer of the Year is McG. But people like Saul will forever live under McG's shadow because of that. And I'm like, if it's Podcasting Chill, the network, it should be, in my opinion, to say Entertainers of the Year, Podcast and Chill. Not just McG, because that show is not him. I don't know if they're crediting the person who's behind the show or the show, and I think it should be about the show. The entertainment, the people who entertain us is not the person. Is McG, Even the people at the movie awards, they don't give the people behind the stage to say, you came up with the concept, so we give you this. We give you from what people judge from. It's okay, the director, the videography, cinematography was very dope in this, it was very great. So they judge you off it, and I'm like, oh, maybe now that I think about it, should it just only be McG, or should it be the entire squad? In my opinion, I think it should be the entire squad, Boko Sadie, because that show is nothing without the team. And I like what McG is doing, being inclusive, and in everything. For him to have accepted, he was like, no, this is not an individual success. Yes, I got this award, but it's a we award. And next time we need to address it with them to say, if you want to give me an award, you need to address it as Podcast and Chill, not just McG, because McG is just the brand that's behind. You know, there's also brands like Soap and Duga, your Boost Ladies, you know. There's a lot of people behind that who also feel, or, you know, who are also behind the production. And in my opinion, I honestly think that they also need to be credited to a degree. I don't know if there was a department for them. I'm not a big fan of those awards. I just looked into them this year. And I was like, because last year I think I've seen this like on social media, but I've never really cared to pay attention to it. And I'm like, oh, now that I'm in the space and I'm doing podcasting, it really makes sense for me to start going into detail, seeing some of these things. And I'm like, oh, like McG, I saw that it stood out, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Maybe it's worth talking about. And speaking about the GQ Win of the Year South Africa awards, I also saw someone on the timeline, Zetu. Zetu is amazing, guys. Zetu is amazing. You know, the content is always on point. It's very articulate, and she was also a part of those awards. I don't know if she was there because she was nominated for an award, which I think she does deserve. If she wasn't nominated, I think she does deserve that. She does a very fantastic job. Even that white guy who's on TikTok as well, they do like proper research, and I really enjoy watching Zetu and that guy's research sometimes, you know. So I just thought, I need to bring that up, you know, so we can talk about it. Like Zetu also deserves, like, some of these people need to be credited, and sometimes we don't need to wait for people to give us awards. You know, we can also create our own awards. You know what I'm saying? We can also create our own awards and give it to the people who deserve. You know, some people are complaining about Grammys. You know, Grammys. Why are we not creating our own platforms where we can say this is our own platform? It is for the people. You know, it is for the people. And I'm like, I don't know why people are always complaining. You know what I mean? I don't know why they're complaining, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, let's talk about it. So on the timelines again, I saw someone very special, and I want us to talk about it. You know, on the social, Black Coffee's girlfriend Victoria Gonzalez, Victoria Gonzalez, who is 90. She was born in 1991, the 12th of January. And for those of you who don't know, Victoria is Black Coffee's girlfriend, you know, allegedly. So Victoria came to fame because of, for those of you who do watch wrestling, she is a professional wrestler. You know, she is a professional wrestler. She's 32 years of age. She's dating Black Coffee. You know, she is a woman's wrestler. And I want to see, you know, given that we're speaking about this, man, do you think it's relevant to bring people? And I think, okay, let me just say this. Do you guys think, Uguti, it's fine for us to go into people's affairs, private lives, and all of those? Do you think, Uguti, it's fine? You know, like, just talk to me. Comment in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. Uguti, do you think it's fine for us to be like, yo, Black Coffee this, Black Coffee that, you know, private life this? And I'll just give you my opinion. I think for me, some of these things, they're very relevant to the success of the artist or the brand. I can say to some degree, because I don't have the stats, I don't have the numbers to back this. I'm just saying. So this can be trashed, this can be facts, you know. But I think if you have drama behind you, if you have the sex sale Chandis behind you, look at Sign Bush. He's fully booked. He's always giggling, you know, right, left, and center, because he knows how to market himself. And I'm like, maybe the Black Coffee and Mbalenje Mapungolo, you know, ex Mapungolo, I don't know her surname now, the surname, I just know she was Mapungolo. And I don't know if the divorce is also final. So to her as well, I want us to talk about it. The drama behind, should we be talking about it? And how is that, making them relevant to the conversations, to the private life? And it's how it is, influencing how people perceive, how people buy, how people become fans, or I think it's something that we need to talk about. But we'll do that for sure. I want us to go on an break. We'll do that for sure when we come back from the break. For those of you who just joined us, I'm your host, Christopher M. Diddy Report, aka Future Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy Nakaru. Let's meet after the break. Cheers. Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host, the Suffer M. Daddy Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. And before we went on a break, we were talking about black coffee. For those of you who just joined us, we did touch on black coffee. We did touch on Mpomagwane McG, the GQ Man of the Year Award, South Africa and internationally. Kim K, for those of you wondering what we were talking about. And the song of the day is Franchise by Travis Scott, featuring Future, Young Thug, and MIA. And currently on Spotify, it's sitting on 88 million. I almost said rent. 88 million. So the song was released 2020. The song is 3 minutes 27 seconds long. So yeah, before we went on a break, we were talking about black coffee and what you guys, I wanted your opinion is if you guys think Ukuti, the drama in your personal life can, in PR to make sure it benefits your career as an artist, as a writer, or whatever it may be, and I was giving an example, Ukuti, Mbali, I think Uti, she is beautiful, by the way. Has 2 kids, I think, if I'm not mistaken, with black coffee, is an amazing parent. And she commented on the comment section, I think it was on Facebook, saying, Uti, someone asked him, Uti, how much is black coffee giving you a month? How much is the monthly allowance? She came on the comment section and he's like, 50K. And I'm like, 50K, why is she comfortable saying that? It's either she's joking or she's telling the truth. But either way, we won't know. We just take her word for it. And guess what that does for her? Cloud on cloud on cloud, even for people who don't know her. Like, who's Mbali and Telapupu? Who was Black Coffee's wife? Who, there becomes a conversation, something that was never seen as something that can be, but because of that comment, 50K from Bali and Tlemapumolo, it just turned it into a conversation. 50K. Black Coffee is money for sure. Bali is also getting her own bag, by any means, She's not relying on that 50K. I'm sure it's just an error on top of whatever she has got. Because if you remember well, on 20, I don't remember which year it was. I almost gave out wrong numbers. I don't remember which year it was, but I think it's 2018, 2017. Yeah, 2017. 2018, when we had the Global Citizen in South Africa, when Beyonce was performing here. Some of the designs, for those of you who didn't know, Balenhle Mapumulo was the one working behind those designs for the one and only, the beautiful, the gorgeous, the queen, Beyonce. She worked on those dresses, those designs. Balenhle Mapumulo was behind it. So she's not, for those of you, I'm not saying for those of you who didn't know, she's not relying on Black Coffee's money. She does make her own bank, and as I said before, Guti, whatever 50K, if it's true, she's getting from Black Coffee, it's just an add-on. And is it relevant, or is it can these things that are from a private life that are not to do with anything with your brand can be included and used as fuel to take your brand to the next level? You know what I mean? And it can either build or destroy. Look at Diddy, and we are going to talk about Diddy. It can either build or destroy, Brands go away because they don't want to attach themselves to news like those, or, associate themselves with people who are rapists, they don't want to associate themselves with those kind of things. And people love that, and they're like, conversation. It can either build or break. You understand? So that's what I wanted to talk about, and I was like, it's very important that we discuss it, because I think a good story, you can package something very nicely, but if there's no story to accompany it, it won't sell. You need to package it with a very beautiful story behind it. You know what I mean? That's your selling point when you're selling the book. But see, this comes from, this book is written by someone who comes from the same platform as you, and he understands, the struggle, the things, the process, to appreciate it. Then later on, you'll reap what you sow. Like those type of things. You need a good story attached to what you are selling, or behind the product or brand. If I may say so myself, I think it's very important that you do that. And I've looked at a couple of scenarios, like I said, see, Mbale and Clema, it's working for her in part of the conversation. It might be, I don't think at this point, I don't think she does need the clout. I mean, after all, it's Mbale and Clema. She has everything she wants, She has everything she wants. She got the money, she's done the biggest things in life. I don't think, there's anything unless I don't think there'll ever be any, I feel, in my opinion, that would make her, I'm thinking of the word, anything that would make her like go out of character to, bring Black Coffee down, or, I don't think there can be anything that can do that for her, to say, my next big thing is me trashing my ex-husband, or whatever the case may be, So, but yeah, it is what it is. Hey, today we are talking a lot about a lot of the people that are in the music scene, and I got a surprise. I do have a surprise. Woo! Singis Semenik. So I do for sure have a surprise for you guys, and I'm sure if you are a fan of this guy, you are very excited. You're very excited. You'll be very excited for sure. In my opinion, that's my opinion. So shout out to another amazing artist, man. I'm a big fan of this guy. Very young, 26 years of age. He is from Davidson, and the other day I was talking about him getting his driver's license, and he was learning how to drive. And he was born 1997, the 17th of last month, November, in Benoni, Davidson. And a lot of you know him by the name of Young Stan, And when he came to fame, I don't know if you guys remember, the Adiwele, which blew up, which also propelled Waffles to blow up. And I think, I don't remember, I think Adiwele, that's when Uncle Waffles also blew up, and she blew up more than the artist who was behind the song. He didn't have any association with the song besides being the DJ, So shout out to him. Then the reason I say shout out to him, man, he had a lot of awards being given to him, and people like Kabza was there. Someone was saying, hey, this one is out here looking at Young Stunner like a proud father, He's out here looking at Young Stunner like a proud father, Kabza. So Kabza is the owner, the record label owner of Piano Hub. So people like Young Stunner under Kabza. So they were giving Young Stunner those awards that why do I keep on saying that she got, there were a lot, and there's a multiple platinum certified awards there, there's, plaques on plaques on plaques that are platinum certified, And she deserves it. She works very hard. The music is great. You can't complain with Young Stunner, you know what I mean? He makes he makes very nice music for those of you. He makes nice music, and as I said, one of those songs is Whopper. The second one is Adiwele, for those of you who didn't. It's I think Penny is a loss of course. Now it's a no course. This is the name of the song. No course, yeah. No course is a figure. I think Penny is a loss of course. That song slaps. That song is my jam. And I was like, Young Stunner is doing a lot of things, man. That song. Nana Tuna. That song, he took it's Young Stunner, bro. Like, Young Stunner, man, he has so much, meaning behind the songs that he writes, bro. Like, I don't know if he's the one writing those songs, but if there is anyone behind that, those in front of you, you have the phone reader, bro. Those songs speak to our hearts, and shout out to you, shout out to Stunner, shout out to Gabs, shout out to Pori, man. That entire camp, man, it's making things possible for everybody, everywhere. And I saw something on social media, moving from the Young Stunner Shandis. I saw something on social media as I was scrolling through TikTok, compiling content for today's episode. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, Showmax is international. It shows Showmax is apparently it's not apparently. I don't know if I'm using the term correctly, but apparently Showmax is international. Because there was a lady from the UK who was like, Showmax has been cancelled the last month in the British, in the UK, and they used to watch those shows. Our Showmax from that side, and I'm like, how? Showmax is releasing those shows internationally. They are making money from that, and I'm like, it's good, it's still a stream of income to Showmax for selling those to the UK. But those shows, now someone was complaining, they are cancelled, the contract is ended, the show is ended, and they would like for those shows to continue. And I'm like, we could generate, passive income residuals. We just rent them out, release them out for a year. We give you season 1 for a year, season 2, season 3. We list these shows, so we can eat on a recurring basis. A once-off is not a nice way to eat, but you need a recurring way to eat. So I think that we need to implement. And I want to talk about something else, moving away from the Showmax international deal and people saying Showmax is international and being surprised. And I was also surprised the other day with Generation was actually in Jamaica, and people look at Generation in Jamaica like we look at the days of our lives. People are looking at Generations like they're in Jamaica. They're like, that's a nightmare. They're looking at the show, and I was also like, oh, the flow of relevance, common ground. You understand how we feel about the bold and the beautiful. Shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to Jay-Z. Yesterday was his birthday. He was turning 54 years old. And, he's one of the people who's also quiet. Big fan of Diddy, but I haven't seen a sight of him or him saying anything, And I guess maybe he's in support as a friend to Diddy to say, you've grown, maybe you've made those mistakes, but you need to rectify them, see their families and all of those things. But we'll get to Diddy later on. I just wanted to give a shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to him. 54 years, man. He's been doing this thing since he was 27 years. The first Reasonable Doubt album, he dropped when he was 27 years, and he's always been on the game ever since. Shout out to Hov, man. I was listening to Potato Salad with the Potato Salad. I think that song belongs to Tyler, the Creator, featuring A$AP Rocky. God. I've never been a big Rocky fan, like A$AP fan, because I do like some of the commercial songs that he does, like Fashion Killer. You listen to Fashion Killer, Praise the Lord, you listen to it, and I heard him on Potato Salad, my guy. Oh, he was flipping the Catons, bro, like the Catons. He was on a different pocket, and I'm like, which Rocky is this one? I like this Rocky. This Rocky is very hungry. There's I want to hear more of this Rocky. Maybe it's unfair for me to say that, given that I haven't listened to a body of work or an LP by A$AP Rocky. But after that, I was like, oh, you're giving me a reason, you're giving me a run for my money. And that's what I like to hear from artists. And I think I need to give myself time within this week, try to listen to an LP from A$AP Rocky, because on Potato Salad he was Grace, and I'm like, Rocky, you standing out, my nigga. I like to see this. And without wasting any time, I want us to talk about the lawsuit. Diddy is on his fourth lawsuit. Who on this recent one, he is allegedly involved. He is sued for allegedly involved in a gangbang with the 17-year-old girl who is currently suing him now. And they did release the pictures. Yeah, and Diddy actually came out with the statement. He released a statement where he was defending himself, and I'll just read it to you in a while. And I'm like, yo, guy, how are you living in the 80s? Yeah, I understand. How are you living? People say you're gay, but you're also fine with women. What's going on? Something is not adding up. Someone is lying to us here. You understand? Someone is really lying to us. Is gay? Is he not? Or people are just not big Diddy fans. So this is the statement from Diddy. He released it from his Instagram account. So it says, enough is enough, capital letters. It says, for the past couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I do not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my own name, my family, and the truth. Sean Diddy Combs. This is Diddy releasing this. He's refusing all these allegations, but he did pay Cassie. So surely those Cassie ones were valid. I just hope that people who are behind this, they do have the money to pay it. And guess who was in the comment section who liked it on the shape? Chance the rapper. I almost said Chance the mother rapper. So, but Chance the rapper liked it, and I'm like, well, Chance, you seem like you know something we don't, my brother. You need to talk to us, So yeah, so that was a statement from Diddy, man. If it's not true, man, all the best. But if you did it, you must go follow your brother R. Kelly, So the Me Too movement is starting, Diddy now. People are coming out of the woodwork to say, Diddy did this, Diddy did that. But it is what it is, man. So I want to talk about the surprise that I had for you. My people, Kelvin Momo, the one and only Kelvin Momo, has the album for December. It's dropping midnight. Kelvin Momo is dropping an album. His that studio album, he's dropping it midnight. I'm so excited for that. I'm sure people, I also been saying, the song of the year has been released, because I didn't know if Momo was gonna release. Now Momo is releasing, and I'm like, maybe I need to take back my words or something. But I'm very excited for that. I'm not the only one who's very excited about this project, and I hope that Momo delivers as always, bro. I'm very excited for this album, man. Shout out to everybody that works. Shout out to the person who designed the cover art. I know he was credited on the cover art, man. Shout out to everybody, man. It's amazing, and surely one of the days we'll have maybe one or two songs that we name as song of the day from that album. I hope so. I really hope so. So the book of the day is Build the Life That You Want by Oprah Winfrey and Arthur Bronx. This is the second book that I was telling you about that I saw. Oprah has the second book, and he's been collaborating with authors. So this is the book of the day. You remember yesterday we had a book of the day by the name of What Happened to You, which also had Oprah as an author again. So this is the second book with Oprah in it, and the author by the name of Arthur C. Bronx with Oprah Winfrey, almost like feature. So with Oprah Winfrey. So the book is 270 pages. So on Google, on Goodread, it's ranking 3.8, not bad. 3.8, you still, on a good side. On Blinkist, it's on 4.3 over 5. So it's a good book. I can say that the book was released this year, 2023, on the 12th of September. Please give that a read and do let me know what you think. And I am your host, the M Daddy Waddy Paul, aka Future Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. The song of today is Franchise by Travis Scott and currently sits at 88 million on Spotify. Amazing song. Let's meet tomorrow on another exciting episode of Backroom Convos. I'm your host, the M Daddy Waddy Paul, aka Future Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Cheers.